Life in a Crater. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast of The Ordinary Maverick. This is Ajay, your host, an ordinary maverick sharing real life thoughts and experiences and maverick tips. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please do so, and you will not miss another episode. The Vredepoort crater in South Africa. Have you heard of it? Well, we hadn't until we lived in South Africa. Fascinating to think that nearly 2 million years ago, a rock hurtled through space and hit Earth. It was as big as a mountain, approximately 10 kilometers across, and was traveling at a speed of around 10 kilometers a second. Quite an impact, right? Well, they say that it was the world's biggest known energy release event, creating a footprint that was 300 kilometers long and 10 times deeper than the Grand Canyon. Well, today the Free State province in South Africa has proof of this meteorite's journey. The Vredepoort crater, the world's largest and the oldest crater, having the largest impact site. It was 160 to 300 kilometers across when it was formed. Pretty impressive, eh? It is the representative part of a larger meteorite impact structure or astrobleme and the oldest astrobleme yet found on Earth. All the classical related characteristics of a large astrobleme are found here. The multi-ring structure formed by the impact shows the effects of the shock metamorphism of rocks, the transformation of the crystal structures, and the shatter cones of the immense force created by the impact. Today, this is a World Heritage Site as declared by UNESCO. Despite the importance of the impact sites to our planet's history, geological activities on the Earth's surface has led to the disappearance of evidence from most of these. And Vredepoort is the only example today that provides a full geological profile of an astrobleme below the crater floor. I've been using the word astrobleme, but what does it mean? Well, it's an eroded remnant of a large crater made by the impact of a meteorite or a comet. Well, some years back, when we were living in South Africa, we heard about this crater and, being mavericks at heart, set out to explore it. And we did manage to explore it not only on foot but also at 10,000 feet high up in the sky. Yes, our skydiving experience at the Vredepoort crater, we literally jumped into the crater from above. Gosh, it was absolutely mind-blowing. Seeing the crater dome from above and then gently descending into the heart of the crater, that was something to remember. I've shared more about our skydiving experience in another podcast, and today I will speak about the experience of living in a crater and exploring it on foot. I must admit, it's been one of our memorable ones. We set out to spend a few days and nights in the crater, but came back with so much more. Learning about the rich history, the unique qualities of the soil and rock formations, the flora and the fauna, all made it into a never to be forgotten holiday. So we started by exploring places to stay and came across this little jewel of a place. Thabela Thabeng is situated in the heart of the Vredepoort Dome. Having its own history, it now offers travelers an opportunity to stay in the crater and explore it at their own pace. It offers secluded chalets that are nestled deep in the heart of the mountains and are uniquely designed with natural rock walls to blend with nature. We booked a chalet there and set off from our home in Pretoria. Very smooth drive there, and for those of you who have been to South Africa, you will agree with me that the roads there are just amazing. It's a country to explore by road given the excellent road conditions and network. However, you're entering sort of a preserved land when the path becomes gravelly and a smaller road is leading you into the property. We could almost feel the peace and tranquility of nature surrounding and embracing us. It was almost as if we were getting covered in calmness and a feeling of relaxation was getting into us. There's a lot of history to Thabela Thabang. The farm originally belonged to the South African president Paul Kruger and then later was bought over by an architect and nature lover Johann van der Merwe and has been in his family for over 50 years. There's been major efforts by Johannes and his family in conserving the unique natural heritage of the area, and Johannes was instrumental in establishment of the first nature conservancy of the Freeport Dome area. A baboon rehabilitation program in the mountains was also established. Well, after checking in at the reception, we made our way up to the mountain in the heart of the crater to our chalet, the Blue Heaven Chalet, which was built to accommodate two persons. We entered the chalet and were awestruck by the unique architecture. The entire chalet was carved into the Rocky Mountains with a balcony that just jutted out, and standing on it gave a sense of being in the mountains itself. We spent time on this balcony just soaking in the quiet with the sounds of the birds and the gentle breeze of the mountain upon us. The bathroom had the most amazing big window by the side of the bathtub, and one almost felt that you were the outdoors. On our first morning there, we noticed some scuttling in the bushes from this window, and on a closer look, saw a family of dassies. Very cute, and there seemed to be quite a few of them, all looking extremely busy going about their day's business, collecting food and exploring. They are fascinating creatures, I must say, keeping themselves super busy all day. More about the dassies in a minute. After our initial settling in, getting our stuff in, we were ready to get out and explore. There are many hiking routes, and each one of these offers spectacular views of the valleys, cliffs, and the river. In fact, there are over 50 species of small mammals to be found, including 8 red data species. All the known endangered species and subspecies of plants, fungi, and animals are recorded in the Red Data Book, which is compiled by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. The dome also has leopards, rooicats, aardwolves, jackals, rock dassies, and antelopes, and several game farms and nature reserves are currently restocking the region's wildlife. I spoke about dassies earlier. This is the rock hyrax, rock rabbit, also called a dassie. It is a medium-sized terrestrial mammal native to Africa and the Middle East, and the African elephant's closest living relative, in spite of the size difference. This close evolutionary relationship is deduced from similarities in the structure of the feet and teeth. Rock dassies' preferred habitat are the rocky areas throughout southern Africa. They are agile tree dwellers where large trees occur near cliff faces. It was our first encounter with dassies at such close quarters. A dassie looks like a robust, oversized guinea pig or a rabbit with rounded ears and no tail. They have stumpy toes with hoof-like nails and 4 toes on each front foot and 3 on each back foot. The bottoms of the feet have a rubbery texture to assist them climbing rock surfaces and trees. We found that the dassies spent several hours sunbathing in the mornings, followed by short feeding excursions. It was, fascinating to see them eat as a family group, and interestingly, they sit in a circle facing out, watch out for potential predators while feeding on grasses, herbage, leaves, fruits, insects, lizards, and bird eggs. The leader of the group takes small bites and looks up watchful for any potential danger and gives a shrill cry if needed as a warning. Immediately, the entire group of dassies disappears in seconds. During our time in the crater, we spent lazy hours just observing the dassies and learned so much about these beautiful mammals. Over 400 different bird species and several butterfly species, and also small game such as chacmas, baboons, small antelopes, fur-wet monkeys are found there. Here's something we discovered during our time in South Africa: the use of the word game. The dictionary meaning of a game or quarry is any wild animal that is hunted for animal products. South Africa is a big destination for game hunting, and often words like big game hunting, small game bird hunting are used. This was new to us when we first got there, but soon learned more about the different types of game. There are hiking routes that take you through the historic gold mines. Yes, gold was discovered in the hills here in the 1800s. In fact, the road leading along the mountain at Thabela was built by the miners to transport gold that was found behind the hills into the valley. And many of the hiking routes that we explored passed through these original gold mines. And then there was the town of Paris, just about 20 minutes away. We spent a lazy afternoon there exploring this unique little town that is well known for its artistic culture, bohemian restaurants and coffee shops, art and crafts, designer clothing, antique shops, and craft beer. We had lunch by the river in the most beautiful setting with some great food, and life kind of seemed complete. Coming back to our Maverick formula, the second component, be true. It's in tranquility and when the mind is at rest that one can really experience this aspect of being true. True to your feelings, your thoughts, and decisions. It is in that silence that surrounds you that you find the answer. We experienced this during those days and nights in the crater. When the sun set and the moonlight cast its spell over the mountains and the deep rocky formations, when the birds had quietened and the sound of night crickets surrounded you, the awesomeness of nature strikes you. Your role, your part in the larger scheme of things gets clearer and you get calmer. That's when the being true aspect comes out, and there is no doubt you know what to do and fall forward. The third component of our Maverick formula. So, if you haven't had a chance to experience the stillness of nature or haven't done it for some time, well, start planning. Of course, Freediport Dome should be a must on your bucket list. I shared, we had the most special times there. Fellow Mavericks, I would like to leave you with these lines from Harvey Broom that resonate with me, and I hope with that Maverick spirit in all of us. Where wilderness can be found, the ancientness of the land and the nobility of man's struggle emerge. Wilderness is vastly different from the clutter and the clatter of much of our civilized world. In wilderness, one experiences exhilaration and joy. In freedom and simplicity, in its vitality and immense variety, happiness may not only be pursued, it is oftentimes found. Do keep writing your comments and sharing your feedback at theordinarymaverick@gmail.com and follow me on Instagram, #theordinarymaverick. I love hearing from you. This is Ajay signing off and wishing you have an amazing day, a super amazing year. Keep well, stay safe. Credits. This podcast series was put together as a team effort from the Bhardwaj family. Concept, design, title, researchers, and reviewers Ajay, Sanjana, Avantika, and Niharika Bhardwaj. Script, Sanjana. Cover design, Niharika. All rights reserved.